Do you ever sense that some people take more than they give, leaving you drained, frustrated, or even questioning yourself? Here's the hard truth. Respect is earned, not freely given. Even the Buddha, who taught boundless compassion, reminded us to see through actions that disrupt our peace and well-being. In this video, we're breaking down 7 toxic behaviors that should never command your respect, and why spotting them is crucial to protecting your energy and relationships. These powerful lessons can help you build a life filled with clarity, peace, and purpose. Let's get started. 1. Disregarding ethics and integrity. In Buddhism, ethics form the foundation of the Eightfold Path, guiding us toward right action, right speech, and right livelihood. Ethics aren't just rules, they're a way of living that brings harmony to ourselves and others. People who disregard honesty or fairness, whether through lying, cheating, or exploiting others for personal gain, demonstrate a deep lack of respect, not just for those around them, but also for their own character. When someone consistently prioritizes selfish desires over moral principles, it's a sign they cannot be trusted. Their actions often lead to conflict, broken relationships, and suffering for everyone involved. Pay attention to their behavior, and remember, trusting someone without integrity is like building a house on sand. It will eventually collapse. Protect your energy by setting boundaries and aligning yourself with those who value fairness and honesty. 2. Engaging in gossip and negative talk. Words have the power to heal or harm, to build bridges or tear them down. In Buddhism, speech is one of the most sacred tools we have for creating peace in the world. The Buddha taught us that right speech, truthful, kind, and beneficial, leads to harmony and understanding. But when someone engages in gossip, spreading rumors, or speaking negatively about others, they are straying from this path. Gossip doesn't only hurt the person being spoken about, it poisons the one who speaks it too. It reveals a mind that is caught in negativity and judgment, focusing on the flaws of others instead of seeking compassion. People who gossip often do so to elevate themselves at the expense of someone else's dignity. When you encounter someone who thrives on negativity, remember, their words create shadows that cloud your peace. True respect is found in speech that uplifts, not in words that tear others down. Protect your energy by steering clear of those who live in a world of constant judgment and unkind words. 3. Being selfishly ungrateful. Gratitude is more than just a polite thank you. It is a practice that nurtures the soul, an essential component of spiritual growth in Buddhism. The Buddha taught us that appreciation and thankfulness are not just about words. They are a way of acknowledging the abundance in our lives and recognizing the kindness of others. When we practice gratitude, we align ourselves with the natural flow of generosity, compassion, and interconnectedness. It's a way of seeing the world through a lens of appreciation for all that we have and all the people who contribute to our lives, often in unseen ways. There are those who live in a way that takes and takes, yet never pause to recognize or express gratitude. These people are often so focused on their own desires and needs that they overlook the kindness and efforts others extend to them. They view relationships and interactions not as opportunities to give and receive in harmony, but as transactions where they benefit without ever offering anything in return. This mindset reflects a deep selfishness, one that creates imbalance in relationships and erodes the foundation of trust and respect. When someone is consistently ungrateful, it signals that they fail to recognize the interconnectedness of all beings. They take for granted the sacrifices, time, and energy of those around them, never acknowledging that these are gifts, not entitlements. In Buddhist philosophy, we are taught that all beings are interconnected, and gratitude is the recognition of that sacred connection. When we live in gratitude, we see others not as resources to be used, but as individuals deserving of respect, love, and care. A lack of gratitude shows a disconnect from this principle. It diminishes the potential for meaningful relationships, as it fosters a one-sided dynamic where one person benefits without giving back. Over time, this leads to feelings of resentment, frustration, and emotional depletion for the person who is giving without receiving. True respect arises when there is a mutual understanding and appreciation, where both individuals contribute and acknowledge one another's value. One of the clearest signs of someone's ungratefulness is how they treat you when they need something versus when they don't. Often, those who take without gratitude are only present when they have a need to fulfill, but disappear once they've gotten what they want. This behavior reflects a transactional view of relationships, where people are seen as tools for personal gain, rather than human beings worthy of respect and appreciation. In these situations, it's essential to protect your energy. Being around someone who is consistently ungrateful can drain your emotional reserves and leave you feeling undervalued and unseen. Acknowledge the imbalance and remember that you deserve relationships where there is mutual appreciation, where both parties give and receive with an open heart. Surround yourself with those who not only express gratitude, but also show it through their actions. These are the relationships that nourish the soul, where respect, kindness, and reciprocity flow freely. 4. Judging others harshly. Judgment is an instinctive part of human nature. We all judge people, situations, and circumstances. It's something we can't avoid entirely. But in Buddhism, we're taught that judgment without understanding blocks our path to wisdom. The key isn't to suppress our judgments, but to learn how to handle them with mindfulness, so they don't cloud our ability to see things clearly. When we judge others harshly, we are not only making a decision about them, but we are also limiting ourselves, closing off the opportunity to connect, grow, and practice compassion. When we judge someone quickly or based on superficial impressions, we fail to see the complexity of their life and struggles. We often make assumptions about people without understanding the full picture of what they're going through. Maybe they've been through trauma, maybe they're dealing with fears, insecurities, or challenges that we can't see. It's easy to look at someone's behavior and call it wrong, but every action comes from somewhere, a deeper emotional place, past experiences, or unmet needs. What appears as a flaw or mistake may actually be part of a bigger lesson they are learning on their journey. Harsh judgment is rooted in ignorance because it doesn't take the time to look deeper. It's an act of seeing only the surface and missing the underlying story that shapes a person's actions. The Buddha encouraged us to cultivate right view, which means to see clearly without bias or judgment, and to understand the interconnectedness of all beings. Everyone is facing their own unique battles, some visible, some not. And when we judge without compassion, we are not only hurting them, but we are also preventing ourselves from deepening our understanding of others. We close ourselves off from meaningful connections, growth, and the opportunity to see things from someone else's perspective. Instead of rushing to judge, we can train ourselves to approach others with curiosity and an open heart. Ask yourself, what might they be going through that I don't understand? What lessons are they learning? This simple shift can help replace judgment with empathy and understanding. The next time you feel judgment rising, pause and try to approach the situation with mindfulness and compassion. Disrespect comes from a closed mind, a mind that judges quickly and harshly without considering the full context of the situation. True respect, however, is born from an open heart and mind. It's about being willing to see beyond the surface and to connect with others, flaws and all. Respect arises when we recognize that each person has their own struggles and lessons, and instead of judging them for their imperfections, we embrace them as fellow travelers on this journey of life. By doing so, we foster a deeper, more compassionate connection with those around us, and in the process, we open ourselves up to deeper insights and personal growth. 5. Lying or manipulating others. In Buddhism, truth is one of the most revered virtues. The Buddha taught that truth is not just about speaking the right words, but about living with honesty, transparency, and integrity in every aspect of our lives. When we engage in lies or manipulation, we distort the truth, and in doing so, we create unnecessary suffering, not only for others, but also for ourselves. Deceit and manipulation are not simply harmful actions, they are obstacles that prevent us from achieving true wisdom, peace, and meaningful connections with others. Lying and manipulation, in their many forms, lead to a breakdown in trust. Whether it's a simple lie to avoid discomfort or more calculated manipulation to control someone's thoughts or actions, these behaviors introduce falsehoods into the fabric of our relationships. A lie, even if it seems harmless at the time, creates ripples that can disrupt harmony, erode trust, and make it difficult to build real connections. Over time, lies accumulate, and the web of dishonesty becomes increasingly difficult to untangle. Manipulation, however, is a more insidious form of deceit. It's not just about altering the truth. It's about intentionally bending reality to achieve personal gain, often at the expense of others. Manipulative behavior uses charm, guilt, or pressure to control others and steer situations in one's favor, typically without the other person's awareness. This form of dishonesty is not just harmful, it is disrespectful of others' autonomy and dignity. In the Buddhist tradition, right speech is an important part of the Eightfold Path, encouraging us to speak with honesty, kindness, and respect. Right speech is about communicating in ways that foster understanding, peace, and harmony, without causing harm to others. Lying and manipulating directly violate this principle. When someone repeatedly lies or manipulates, they are signaling a lack of integrity and respect, not only for others, but for themselves as well. A person who manipulates others does not value the truth. They value getting what they want, even at the cost of others' feelings or well-being. Manipulation is especially destructive because it often involves playing with someone's emotions, beliefs, or perceptions to get them to act in a way that benefits the manipulator. A manipulator doesn't care about the emotional toll their behavior takes on others. They only care about fulfilling their own desires. This type of behavior creates confusion, insecurity, and resentment, making it nearly impossible to trust that person fully. It is an abuse of power, where the manipulator tries to maintain control by distorting facts and exploiting the vulnerabilities of others. If you are dealing with someone who regularly lies or manipulates, be aware that these actions are clear signs of disrespect. Such behavior undermines the trust and authenticity that are the foundation of any healthy relationship. It's essential to protect your own peace by setting clear boundaries and distancing yourself from those who consistently engage in deceitful actions. Remember, true respect and trust are built on honesty and integrity. Without them, there is no genuine connection. The Buddha's teachings remind us that living truthfully is a path to inner peace. When we speak honestly and act with integrity, we invite trust and clarity into our lives. By contrast, lying and manipulation cloud our minds and hearts, leaving us entangled in webs of deception. Respect comes from a place of truth, both with others and with ourselves. When we honor the truth, we create space for authentic, harmonious relationships. And when someone consistently lies or manipulates, they are showing us that they do not respect the truth. And in turn, they do not respect us. 6. Disrespecting boundaries. Boundaries are not just rules, they are essential expressions of self-respect and self-care. In Buddhism, there is great emphasis on balance and mindfulness, which includes respecting both our own limits and those of others. Every person has the right to protect their emotional, mental, and physical space. When someone disrespects boundaries, they are ignoring another's inherent right to feel safe, respected, and valued. Boundaries serve as a way of communicating our needs and limits. They help preserve our well-being by preventing others from overstepping and taking more from us than we are willing to give. When someone ignores or violates these boundaries, whether they are emotional, physical, or psychological, they are sending a message that their needs are more important than yours. This behavior shows a lack of respect for your autonomy and your inner peace. It's a sign that they may be more focused on what they can extract from you rather than what they can offer in return. In Buddhist teachings, the concept of right action encourages us to act in ways that bring benefit to ourselves and others without causing harm. Disrespecting someone's boundaries is an action that harms because it disregards another's personal space and needs. It is a violation of the sacred balance that allows relationships to flourish, respectful and reciprocal, where both parties honor each other's limits and vulnerabilities. When boundaries are respected, it fosters trust and allows for healthy, harmonious interactions. When they are ignored, however, it breeds resentment, confusion, and emotional turmoil. Someone who continuously disrespects boundaries might ignore your requests for space, make assumptions about your comfort zone, or impose their needs on you without consideration. They might ask for favors that stretch your limits, pressure you into uncomfortable situations, or disregard your feelings and preferences altogether. Over time, this kind of behavior leads to an unhealthy dynamic in the relationship, one in which you feel drained, violated, or even taken advantage of. The Buddha taught the importance of right mindfulness, the practice of being fully present and aware of both our own feelings and those of others. When we respect boundaries, we show awareness and care for the other person's emotional and psychological state. We acknowledge that each individual is entitled to their own space and peace. When boundaries are disrespected, it indicates a lack of mindfulness, an inability or unwillingness to consider the impact of one's actions on another person's well-being. If someone continually disrespects your boundaries, it's essential to protect your peace by setting firm limits and holding them to them. Speak up when your boundaries are violated, and don't be afraid to distance yourself from those who refuse to respect them. Healthy relationships require mutual respect, and that includes respecting each other's boundaries. Protecting your boundaries is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of self-respect that allows you to be fully present and engaged in relationships that nurture your well-being. The Buddha's teachings guide us toward balance, respect, and kindness. By respecting the boundaries of others and expecting the same in return, we create relationships based on mutual care and understanding. When boundaries are disrespected, the foundation of respect is broken, leading to unnecessary suffering. But when we honor each other's limits, we build trust, create peace, and foster meaningful connections that enrich our lives. 7. Consistently bringing negative energy. Energy is contagious. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our own mental, emotional, and spiritual states. In Buddhism, we are taught the importance of right association, which means surrounding ourselves with people who uplift us, inspire us, and help us grow. When someone consistently brings negative energy into a space, they disrupt the harmony and balance that we work so hard to cultivate. Negative energy can manifest in many forms: constant complaining, pessimism, gossiping, or a general sense of heaviness and frustration. It may not always come in the form of overt hostility, but it's the subtle draining effect that can be just as damaging. When someone's presence leaves you feeling exhausted, discouraged, or emotionally depleted, It's a clear sign that their energy is toxic. They may complain about everything, focus on problems rather than solutions, or constantly bring up past issues that create unnecessary tension and negativity. Over time, being around this type of energy can wear you down, leaving you feeling stuck, uninspired, or even hopeless. In Buddhist practice, we are encouraged to cultivate an inner peace that is not easily disturbed by external circumstances. However, we must also acknowledge that certain external influences can either help or hinder this peace. People who consistently bring negativity into our lives can cloud our minds and hearts, making it harder to stay grounded in compassion and equanimity. These individuals may be deeply dissatisfied or struggling with their own issues, but their negative energy impacts not only their own well-being, but also the well-being of those around them. It's important to remember that their negativity is not a reflection of your worth. It is simply the result of their inner turmoil and unresolved emotions. The Buddha emphasized the importance of maintaining a balanced, peaceful mind, and that requires being mindful of the energy we allow into our lives. If someone consistently brings negativity into your life, it can feel like a weight that drags you down. It becomes harder to stay positive, focused, or motivated when you're constantly confronted with their complaints or bitterness. In order to preserve your own peace, it's essential to set boundaries with individuals who refuse to shift their negative energy or contribute constructively to the relationship. While it's important to practice compassion and understanding for those who are suffering, we must also be mindful of how we protect our own energy. If someone continuously brings negative energy without ever attempting to improve or grow, it may be time to distance yourself or limit your interactions. Respecting your own mental and emotional space is vital to maintaining your own well-being. The Buddha's teachings remind us that our external environment deeply influences our inner state. By choosing to surround ourselves with individuals who uplift us and radiate positive energy, we protect our peace and create space for growth and happiness. However, when someone consistently brings negative energy into your life, it can disrupt that peace and prevent you from reaching your full potential. Recognizing and distancing yourself from toxic influences is not an act of disrespect to them, but an act of respect to yourself, your peace, your energy, and your well-being. Thank you for watching, and I hope these powerful lessons have helped you gain more clarity on how to protect your peace and build healthier, more respectful relationships. Remember, respect is not just something we give to others, it's something we must honor within ourselves too. By recognizing these behaviors and setting clear boundaries, you can create a life filled with greater compassion, wisdom, and balance. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Buddhism Pathways for more insightful lessons and stories that can guide you on your spiritual journey. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on new content that can transform your life. Take these teachings to heart, apply them, and begin to surround yourself with the respect, peace, and energy you truly deserve. Until next time, may you walk the path of wisdom and compassion, always staying true to your highest self.